So we have been looking at Abriba. We did go beyond the borders of Ghana, of course, and we went all the way to Canada looking at not just Ghanaians sometimes, but in this case, we looked at a Nigerian in the diaspora and what he's made of his life out there. So up next, we do have Ikenna Onyegbula, who is a poet. He's an inspirational man. He is, I mean, an all-rounder, but really he is the best Canadian poet in Canada. Well, yeah, best Canadian poet in Canada. Yeah, so I mean that's why, and he's Nigerian, and what he's doing out there is simply fantastic. When recently he just went to Paris to, compete in poetry, and he's making it into a career. For some people, I mean, in Ghana, sometimes we're just like, what is poetry all about? Why are people going, if that's not going to make you money? But for Ikenna Onyegbula, it is making his career. Let's take a look at his story.
When Oyibo woman dance, she dey dance, lady dance. Naija woman go dance, she dey dance the fire dance. Fela Kuti, we are blessed, so rest your head and weep.
Ikenna Onyegbula lives his life as a professional writer, with his speciality being poetry.
Nigeria, home to over 150 million people, we are a kaleidoscope of ethnic diversity. I have been a writer ever since I was 7, I think. I first started writing, and it's just what seemed so comfortable to me. As time grew on, I started liking English so much, and it fascinated me in writing and poetry. So I traveled around the country performing, and yeah, it's a very exciting job.
Ikenna has been doing professional spoken word poetry for 3 whole years. He's already won 3 competitions, feats that he still finds hard to believe. But life hasn't always been this exciting as a professional poet. Ikenna's parents didn't take it lightly that their son had left a life in the courts for the arts.
I went to university for law. They did not like it. I'm not gonna lie about that. But over the years, I find they've grown accustomed to it, and I guess they just want me to be successful more than to waste my time. And so in poetry, I've been lucky to be kind of successful in doing it. Now they're okay with it. Now they understand, and they accept it. They rejoice sometimes when I tell them why I won a competition. They'll be very happy. So I'm happy about that.
Winning his parents over wasn't Ikenna's only challenge. He tells us the downsides of the Nigerian living in a foreign country.
I still have a bit of my accent. I've never really lost my cultural background. So the cultural disconnect, I find, is always a problem. Not only in topic, but just in some of the words you say and some of the things that we, the way we interact with each other. I find sometimes it's you have to really be careful what you say. You have to be really careful how you look at things and how you react to certain things. So when she dried her eyes, she made sure she topped it off with a perfect smile. She would compose herself, sit and breathe, before carrying about her day with a ladylike style, almost like nothing had happened. Like a moving train, she was right on track when it came to moving people, right from way back. So poetry is still a very young art in the sense that people in the large mainstream community are still really getting used to it and getting open to it. But there are a lot of I would say there are a lot of money-making possibilities. You need to work hard. It's one of those things that you really need to work hard. But if you do a lot of shows, like a lot of people start with slam, and slam is essentially competition poetry. So when you enter competitions against other people around the country, people get to know you, and then as they like you, if you win, then you get more opportunities to do shows where you're just a feature. And a feature can get something like anywhere from maybe $200 to $100 to $300, let's say, for a good feature. So if you're doing a lot of shows like that, the traveling is brilliant because they pay for your traveling, they pay for your accommodation. For instance, I'm going to represent Canada next month at the World competition in Paris. I was selected as the Canadian rep. So what that, they already sent me my plane ticket. I did not have to pay for that. They're paying for all my food for the week, they're paying for my accommodation, and then they're giving me a subsidy of maybe 150 euros for the week. So the money is not insanely amazing, but there are a lot of perks, there are a lot of benefits, and the sky's the limit, essentially.
Do you ever hope that your poetry will sort of speak for developmental issues, political issues that might spark controversial discussion?
Most definitely. There are many issues that have been happening in Nigeria, such as the Boko Haram, the fuel subsidy, all the different things of that nature. And I think that's one thing I think I have an advantage over, like I said, many of this other artists, because I can talk about it from a different perspective. I can bring it in a different way. I can add theater into writing, into performance, into speaking, oratory, I guess. And I mean, it could open people's eyes, in my opinion. And when I get to Nigeria, apart from just the plain entertainment, I would really love to, open people's eyes, talk to the people there. I'm a people, like I really am a people person. I like to find out their issues, what they're going through, and yeah, I think I have an advantage there for sure. On the umbilical cords of Mother Nature, how rarely they listen. It is genius just.
Ikenna says he will keep forging ahead, taking inspiration from life experiences that have influenced his work.
The biggest thing is my sister's death. My sister, I had a sister when I was 7 years old. She was 10 years old. She passed on when she was 10. I was 7. She was my older sister. When she passed on, I became the eldest brother. But after she passed on, I had 3 other sisters, and the youngest one died last year. It was easily the most painful time of my entire life. So that experience has really shaped my poetry a lot. It's shaped my belief in God and my strength in belief in God. God is always a huge influence in everything that I do. Learning to know Him, learning to serve Him in any way that I can, and understand that I'm a human being, and when I make mistakes, I have to just keep going. And the love for God motivates me. My sisters motivate me. My love life motivates me. I used to write a lot of love poems. I don't write them anymore, but my love life still influences me, but I just channel them into different things, and my love for culture. Prepare those gates for me to walk on through, issues and prepare your spirit. The mind may hug you, and I can see you turn away as a tear hits the dirt, and your tear glands burst, so that you hide your face because you cry, and your tears tear some moisture from my own eyes, until my iris tears the light from my own eyes, and my corneas corner my tear glands to a corner, and tear my tear glands until my eyes cry. I will forever and ever be by your side as you rest in peace, my beloved sister. God owns you now. Goodbye.
Ikenna Onyegbula.
Our very own friend. He is, he's really a smart guy. Helps everyone in all their university homework. Like, he can write the best essays.
I'm sure that sometimes people are just like, please write to me. He's amazing with words. He's just so good.
For me, it kind of, sometimes I get goosebumps just seeing how people can use words to describe certain things. You're just like, how does it
work in your brain? Like, how does that even work? It's very interesting because, also in Ghana, we have our poets. We have Yom, we have Mutambo, the poet, and they're all, very active. But the spoken word scene is just not as big as possibly the Canadas or Americas,
But when we talked to him too, he did mention the challenges that they face, and it sounds very similar to the kind of challenges that people face here, which is mainly financial. When you start off, you have, maybe your parents. What are you doing with poetry? Where are you going with?
Why is this a life choice?
Exactly, but he doesn't work and do anything else. Here and there he has his other jobs, but he has focused on it. He has competitions that he applies for online that I'm sure Yom and Mutombo and all also do. It is a way that you can also bring your artistic talent out and make money. And like I said, he's gone to Paris, he's gone to all these. And in Ghana, we have even Constance Swanika's art center.
Who does our furniture.
They have like their own sort of art exhibition area where they constantly have poetry shows.
Poetry
and I think May, the lady that came on the show, also a discussion about arts. She also has something like that.
And there are so many places where you can go, actually. If you're really into it, there's so many things that can happen.
Yeah. So with that too, Ikenna started his own book that he's now selling out in Canada as well. So that's also an avenue. But hey, Ikenna, you've done amazing. We are very proud of you. But guys, up next, after the break, we have a day in the life of a makeup artist, Juliet Ensuyebo. We're really excited for that. So don't go away.